Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and I was asked this question and I'm going to answer it in this video, talking about why do narcissists parrot you or mirror you back? So the question specifically was somebody who already had been divorced from a narcissist. So he was aware that his wife was a narcissist and they've since divorced and they share custody of their son. And he was explaining that she constantly parrots back to him whatever it is that he says. So he'll try to engage her in a conversation about their child and try to co-parent with her. And instead of talking back to him, speaking in a conversation with him, she just simply parrots back to him in a condescending way, whatever it was that he said. And there's a few stages of parroting or mirroring that narcissists will engage in, and I want to cover that kind of from the start to the end. So first of all, mirroring is one of the strong red flags that you are dealing with a narcissist. So when you first meet somebody and if you notice that they are mirroring what you say, like to the T about what you are talking about, you need to be alert that this is probably, there's something happening there where this person is trying to get your trust very quickly so that something else can happen. I have a video that where I talk about like the red flags of that you're dealing with a narcissist, and this is one of the strongest ones. It's literally like the craziest thing you've ever heard of. So wherever you were born, they were also born there. Whatever your favorite movie is, that's their favorite movie. Their favorite color is also your favorite color. It's literally the exact same things that you are saying to them. They just parrot it back to you or mirror whatever you are saying. And also pay attention to body language. It's natural for humans to do whatever the other person is doing when they're in a conversation. So if somebody leans into you when you're in a conversation, it's natural for you to also mirror that and lean in towards you. Now, you'll do this still in your own personality way. You're going to do this with your own style and your own movements. Watch the narcissist. They will do it exactly the way you do it. So I talk with my hands a lot. You've probably seen that in my videos. So if I move my left hand like this, the narcissist will also move their left hand like this. It's not just that they're doing whatever it is that you do, which is a natural way to build a connection. Humans are made that way. We are created that way to try to find commonalities and to make a bond to grow a friendship. That's the way that it starts, and mirroring is a natural part of that. Like all things that involve a narcissist, though, they have taken what was a beautiful, healthy construct, and they find a way to turn it into something completely twisted that just serves them. So pay attention to mirroring, because that's number one. And you'll also notice it with, as I said before, the things that you're into, it's like they are exactly the same. And it could be like the craziest scenario, like, for example, in 2012, I was in Morocco. Oh, in 2012, I was also in Morocco. It could just be like the most outlandish lies. But again, it's like you're bringing it up as a way to have a conversation with somebody. You want to see if there's a connection there. And again, narcissists know this. And so they know that their opportunity to make an impression, to build a connection, is now or never. It, like when you first meet somebody, that's like when you get your opportunity. And narcissists, again, want the whole thing, everything, all of life to revolve around them. And so if they can quickly hook your interest, if they can quickly draw you in and make them memorable in your mind, that's what they're going to do. And this is where the mirroring comes in. And so it actually starts from the very first time that you've ever met a narcissist. You're going to notice a lot of that. This isn't a true, genuine connection. And again, this happens a lot with empaths, because empaths want people to feel what they feel. They feel what other people are feeling, and so if there's a pain or a sadness there, they naturally want to take it away. And if empaths do not have wisdom, if they are not hooked up to the spirit of discernment, you are going to be taken on a ride dealing with multiple narcissists all of the time because you haven't learned the lesson. And the lesson ultimately is developing your discernment. So paying attention to your gut instincts. And I talk a lot about that, like literally tracking when you are correct and when you aren't correct so that you can hone your instincts. There's a reason that you have those. And especially, again, if you're an empath, you need to know that you carry such a precious gift and it needs to be stewarded well. And this means you are going to have to know when other people are trying to prey upon that gift. Okay, so mirroring starts from the very beginning of time whenever you meet a narcissist. So pay attention to that. Please be hooked up to the spirit of discernment so that you can tell when somebody is truly on your frequency and when it's a counterfeit. You know, when somebody just wants to take something from you and they're trying to build that trust super quick, they won't put in a lot of effort. It'll just be their words again. And narcissists are good at making this a show. So you might think like, oh, well, they did put in effort. You know, they sat and talked to me for several hours, or we've been exchanging text messages, but really look at like how much time did that actually take for them to send you that text. Maybe they sent flowers. You'll notice that this stuff is always delivered and you can literally do that in 5 minutes. It's never actual investment of their time or of their resources. It's never like inviting you into something real. It's always stuff that has the nice appearance. So like sending somebody flowers, and again, like I don't want to try to make a general statement about this. It's not that sending people flowers is never the right thing to do. It's just that you'll notice when you actually take a look back at the actions, you know, in hindsight of the narcissist, what they were doing, none of it was actually ever real. It was never a true investment of building a life together or anything like that. The entire thing was a show. And again, while hindsight is great, it's better if you can apply those lessons and the principles that you've taken from the past to the future. Okay, so moving forward now, we understand that narcissists do parroting. They mirror your behavior, your actions, your words back to you. As this progresses, this is going to become a weapon against you. It's the worst thing possible because you've now been real with this person. You've been, talking to this person about your hopes and your dreams, and your personality has come through when you've been spending time together, when you've been sharing about yourself, right? So the narcissist recognizes like they've got an in. The wall is down, so to speak. They've entered into your inner circle, your most precious, your most sacred parts of you. And what they do then is, as a relationship progresses, and specifically in the devaluation phase, narcissists are going to start using those things against you. They're going to start tearing down the very things that you thought that they were drawn to. The things that you thought they loved about you are now the weapons that they're using against you to destroy your identity. And so you'll often have them mimicking you back in such a condescending way, or saying things about you like, do you even realize how stupid you sound when you say this stuff? Like when you say X, Y, and Z, they'll say it back to you in such a way where you're questioning, like, what am I doing? You know, and maybe they're right. Maybe I am not as, refined or whatever as I should be. Maybe I need to put more effort into my personality or the way that I come across to people. And so you start second guessing yourself, your very core, your total identity. And this is really damaging. Again, this further solidifies the trauma bond. You know, people can get into thinking like whether the narcissist is right or not. And this is where you develop more and more and more. You put more and more equity into the relationship. So you begin to think maybe that the narcissist is seeing things truthfully, the way that things truly are, and you need to rely on the narcissist for guidance so that they continue to take more of your identity as you move forward with the relationship. And again, this is strengthening the trauma bond as well. So now we're coming to, I'm going to skip a few phases that could happen between the devaluation phase and what I'm going to next, but I want to make sure that I answer my viewers' question. And so now he is in a situation where the child needs medical attention, and he's trying to have a serious conversation with his ex-wife about what to do with the child. And the ex-wife just simply won't hear it. She just parrots back to him whatever it is that he had said. And this is also a defense mechanism against the narcissist. So anything that the narcissist touches, the narcissist is worried about how that thing reflects them. So if the child needs medical care, the narcissist is automatically going to think that if you're trying to talk to me about the medical care, you think that I caused or did something to make the child need medical care. And so that's a non-starter for a narcissist. And I'm speaking firsthand. I've already had this happen in my own life, in my own situation. Like, this is a very personal topic to me. So I totally understand, like, you're trying to come to a solution, a resolution for this child moving forward, and the narcissist isn't having it. So that's number one, is recognizing this is a defense mechanism, and you're not going to like say anything that can kind of help them just co-parent. Like, I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to come up with a resolution for our child. That's not going to work. That's not going to ever happen. The narcissist is way too fragile to ever go for that kind of thing. So that's number one. It's a defense mechanism. Lots of people will say the narcissist needs to just parrot because they don't have a personality of their own. Like, they're a chameleon, so much so that they will just adapt to whatever person it is that they're talking to. And while that is true to a certain degree, when it comes down to these very serious, like, the narcissist is aware that this is a significant issue. They're also aware of all of the repercussions that could come against them should something happen or go wrong in this situation. So the narcissist isn't going to give you anything because they think that everybody thinks like them, which is that you're just out to get them, and that if anything goes wrong, you're going to use that against them. They don't believe that we can just come up with something, agree to something, and then we move on. We move forward regardless of the outcome of that decision that we just made jointly. So there isn't that kind of trust factor at all, because the narcissist is so hollow. It's such a facade. Their lives are such a complete, there's nothing behind them. There's nothing of substance in them, that they don't have the capability to just say, this is what we're doing and we're moving forward. And if you look back on the narcissist's life, start looking at the narcissist's life, you'll see a lot of these kinds of traits coming through. So again, you'll see a lot of patterns of behavior. Lots of people who have ended up in this exact situation with the narcissist that the narcissist was able to explain away whenever you were together, but now you're probably seeing that stuff in a different light. So again, this is a defense mechanism for the narcissist to ensure that nothing that they touch is taken from them, because they view everything as property, even people. Like, they view it as like their things. And also to make sure that nothing comes back to reflect poorly on them, because a narcissist is so concerned with image, they'll never take responsibility, even if it was legitimately their fault, and regardless if it's their fault or not. They'll assume you're thinking it's their fault, and their ego is so fragile that they can't handle that. So again, these parroting or mirroring tactics that they use are just completely designed to protect the facade that they've spent their entire lives building. And that's why it's so difficult to penetrate it. And this is why, I don't think that you're ever going to be able to break through that and just kind of come to a resolution. Unfortunately, narcissists only respond to people forcing them to do something. So again, this is why if you're in a court situation, and if you don't have a judge who's going to enforce court orders or hold the narcissist accountable, put them in contempt, things like that, the narcissist is getting energy from it and is finding out more ways. They're learning, they're adapting to how to get more and more territory, whether that be money or time with kids or any type of thing that they're after, but also energy So they are getting more and more, powerful in their own minds, and so they are going to continue to do this because they have found new ways, new inroads to replicate the outcome that they've desired that they're getting right now. So this is a super difficult situation. I totally get it, but unfortunately sometimes, unless there's a third party who holds authority in the situation to come in and tell them, so that could be a doctor, that could be a guardian ad litem, the judge, whoever, whatever your situation is, to come in and tell the narcissist that this is how it's going to go. Unfortunately, your desires, your wishes, your whatever, just resolving it nicely it is the very most unlikely thing to happen. Let me just say that. It's not impossible, but it's not likely. So I hope this answers your question, Dave. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for submitting your question. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below and turn on the little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.